Welcome to Rama Drishti, verse 9. Now, verse 8 is very important. Its understanding is very important to really go deeper into verse 9. So, I'll quickly just revise what we did in verse 8 last week. In verse 8, Rama tells Lakshmana that doership is the main cause. Yeah? I am doing this, I am doing this, I am not doing this. This doership mentality, this is the main cause of the arising of the personhood. And that person arises and falls, arises and falls. There is no continuous person there. And when does this person become strong? When there is that Kriya Chakra, the wheel of action. And we went deeper into the wheel of action. Yeah. The person comes up, the doership comes up, the experiencership comes up. There's reactions to all of this. Those reactions store impressions. And those impressions are like seeds. They are bound to sprout when it is ripe. And when those seeds sprout, it's not necessary that I will like them. Again, I might react to them. Again, my reaction creates new impressions which go and again get buried deep into the consciousness. Again, when it's time, they ripen and they sprout. So this wheel of action, this is because of my thinking that this is dharma and this is adharma. I have to do this right, I have to not do this. This doing, this sows the seed of personhood. That is the wheel of action. If you've been on the path a long time and have been able to distance yourself from the person completely, then it's very clear for you that there is no doing. I have never done an action. I cannot. I am the witness of the person. I am not the person. When you get established in this recognition, then this wheel of action starts getting erased. Yeah, there is that constant distancing in the waking, which seeps into the dream, which seeps into the deep sleep. And that distancing gets me to the fourth, Turiya. Yeah? So the way to get out of that wheel of action is its reverse, which is witnessing in the waking, dreaming, deep sleep till you get to the fourth, the Turiya. Then only can you say, I see the wheel of action and I have learned the skill. It's an inner skill. Ekta cannot teach me. An external person cannot teach me because that person is a part of that wheel of action, of that samsara. Yeah. So nobody external can teach me. I have developed the skill of distancing myself. Hopefully this week you really studied your wheel of action, your Kriya Chakra, and recognized that it is the cause of all the suffering. Only when you recognize that, okay, this is the cause of suffering, will you want to go away from it. Do you see that? Only when I see this is fire, then only I develop the intelligence that I should not put my hand into the fire. This intelligence is not developed till the time I see that this really burns. It burns. Are you able to see samsara like that? The parent, the spouse, the child, the work, the possessions, all of it. All of it. Any attachment in the samsara is like taking burning coal in your hand. And those embers are going to burn you. Do you see this yet? If you do, then you will understand the first line of verse 9. Move on to verse 9. Verse 9. Ajnanam evasya hi moolakaranam tadhanam evatra vidhau vidhiyate. Vidyaiva tannasha avidhau patiyasi na karma tajam savirodham iritam. He's saying ignorance is the root cause of this Kriya Chakra. Ignorance. What is ignorance? I do not know that this arising, this pleasant sensation, this unpleasant sensation, I do not know these arisings as not me. This is ignorance. I do not see this thought, very intelligent thought, very smart thought. I do not see this smart thought as not me. This is ignorance. Yeah. A perception of sight, sound, smell, taste, touch. Whatever is my personal world, I do not see that arising as not me. This is ignorance. Is this clear? Yeah. Ignorance is the root cause of the Kriya Chakra, of that wheel of action. So the second line says, obviously, what is the way out? It's elimination. You have to eliminate the ignorance. That is the only way out, says wisdom. That's the second line. And how will you do it? That also has been provided in this verse. The third line says, only knowledge can eradicate lack of knowledge. Only jnana can eradicate ajnana. Like if there was darkness here in the night, nothing could eradicate the darkness but light. Yeah. You will say, I can bring in a torch or a flashlight, which is artificial light, and it can light up the room. That is correct. It can, but it is still fake light. Do you see this, what I'm saying? It is fake light, means what is natural light? This, the morning sunlight. This is natural light. Even if I close my doors and windows, it is still bright. There is no darkness. Darkness has been eradicated. So just like we have artificial light and sunlight, like that, knowledge or jnana has been given the pedestal of the sunlight. Yeah, so only jnana or knowledge can eradicate the darkness that comes out of lack of knowledge, ajnana. The last line he tells you, what is this artificial flashlight of yours or this artificial lamp of yours? What is that? Karma, action. Na karma tajam. Action which is born of ignorance, which is the progeny of ignorance. It cannot defy ignorance. Yeah? A child cannot beat the parent. Yeah? Like that only, the action cannot, which is born of ignorance, cannot defy, cannot challenge, cannot stand up to ignorance because it is born of it. For example, a little drop of water is born of the ocean. It cannot stand up to it. It cannot resist it. It will dissolve into it. You see what he means here? Yeah. a little spark of fire cannot stand up to the humongous fire. It will dissolve into it. Like that only, that which is born of ignorance cannot stand up to ignorance. So if you say, oh, I will do mantras, mantra is also an action. Yeah. Oh, I will do japa, I will do yoga asanas, I will do pranayama. All this will take away the lack of knowledge. No, it cannot. It cannot. Only knowledge can eradicate lack of knowledge. Is the direct translation very clear? This is the direct translation of the verse. This is what Rama is telling Lakshmana in the direct translation. Now let's work on direct seeing. As an Advaitan, how do I see this? First, I have to recognize ignorance. Ignorance is the key word in this verse. If I don't understand ignorance in my daily seeing, then it's not possible for me to even move ahead. Because I will only memorize this verse, I will not be able to see it. Yeah, there's a difference between intellectually memorizing something, understanding something intellectually via its translation, and actually seeing it. Seeing has got nothing to do with intellectual understanding. Intellectual understanding happens at the level of the mind. Now, you understood at the level of the mind. Now take a step beyond the mind and attempt to directly see. That will be verse 9 in the book Rama Drishti. Ignoring the fact of one arising at a time, being unaware of the reality of the background of the now, oblivious to the veracity of projection being inside out, negligent of its respective perception being inside out, nascent to the actuality of being infinite nobodiness, are the chief causes of the rebirth phenomena termed as ajnana or ignorance. So, first we will stop here and look at these 5 direct seeings. You can see these only if you take the correct stand of the witness. So take a moment, go beyond the body and mind, take the correct stand. Now recognize that the body wants to make notes. Recognize that little craving, oh, I will miss this, I want to make note. So what has arisen? The person arose. It is one arising at a time. But what do you think? No, the person is continuous. You do not see the person arise like a wave. Are you seeing this? If you maintain your distance, you will see it. So don't ignore the fact that it is one arising at a time. The person arose and that wave receded. Then the thought arose, oh, she's telling me something. If I take the stand of the witness and stay here, I will not be able to make that note. That is a thought. It arose and it went away. It left a feeling behind. Observe, there is this feeling. And that feeling also arose and it went away. You just sewed them together and you made a story. The story of, oh, if I just stay behind and leave that notebook and pen, I will not be able to write this down. I will miss it later. Do you see it? What have I done? I just stitched these 2-3 arisings together and I sewed a story. No. Again, this is ignorance. The story is ignorance. What is knowledge? Oh, there is just one arising at a time. There is just one arising at a time. There's the person arising. Again, the thought that, oh, I have to make the notes. Oh, again, the sensation that arose. Yeah. Again, another arising of automatically the pen coming into the hand and the notes start getting written. And again, the thought, no, stay as the witness. You have created a concept that while making notes, I cannot be the witness. You created this. Ekta didn't tell you this. You see this? One after another, you're creating a story. One after another, you're creating a story. So, what are you doing? You are ignoring the fact of one arising at a time. You understand the first level of ignorance? It's a very subtle saying. Either you see it or you don't. Yeah? And if you don't see it, please be honest and humble. Work on it this week. Oh, I'm not able to see this. It's pointless trying to rush through Rama Drishti. Let me work on this. So, become very clear. I tend to ignore one arising at a time. Yeah. So become very clear. Oh, see, right now there is just the rising of the computer. Oh, now I only heard the sentence that Ekta said. Oh, now the stomach is growling. I only recognize the growl in the stomach. Then the thought came up, oh, maybe I'm hungry. I didn't have breakfast. Something. You see, there is only one arising at a time. Either you hear Ekta or you see Ekta. Both are not together. Yeah. Either you're thinking about the hunger pangs or you are listening to Ekta. Both are not happening together. There is only one arising at a time. So that's homework number 1. Do I recognize one arising at a time? Either there is sight or sound or smell or taste or touch or thought or feeling or sensation. These 8 are never together. When are they together? Only when I weave them into a story. Yeah. So again and again, discard the story and look at whatever the arising is right now. Simple. That's the first part. Yeah. So I have been ignoring the fact of one arising at a time. Now I need to move one level higher and stop ignoring this. Yeah. Second point. I am all the time unaware of the reality of the background of the now. I only focus on the arising. Is this recognition there? There's so much interest in the thought that came up, so much interest in the feeling that came up, so much interest in Ekta on the computer, so much interest in these words, so much interest in the book. But I am not looking at the background of the now, in which these arisings are popping up. Do you recognize this? Yeah. So now this is my second homework. Can I latch onto the background of the now? That will help me to see, oh, there is just one arising. It came from the background of the now and it disappeared into the background of the now. Oh, okay. The background is the reality, not this arising. Is the second part very clear? This is how you work on your direct seeing. Latching onto the background of the now is master key here. Can I hold on to the background of the now? Some thought comes. It's not in my hands when this thought comes and goes. Why? Because this thought is coming from those impressions. It's a part of the wheel of action. Kriya Chakra. I cannot stop the thought. When I was ignorant on the path of Dvaitam, I tried to stop thoughts. Oh, I'm going to stop thoughts. I'm going to go into Samadhi and stop thoughts. I'm going to use a mantra and stop thoughts. Oh, I'm going to use the breath and stop thoughts. No, you failed. It's not possible to stop the Kriya Chakra. That should not even be your intention. Yeah. What should the intention be? Can I recognize the reality, the background now? That is the reality. That is it. I just hold on to the background of the now. Stay there. Arising comes, there's only one arising at a time. Disappears, it's quite quick. A thought comes, very quick. A feeling comes, very quick. Perception of sight, there's one perception of the door, one of the window, one of the computer, the table. Zup, 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 zup. But still it is one arising at a time. Instead of focusing on the arisings, can I turn my focus towards the background of the now? Is this clear? Second part is very clear. Third, I am usually oblivious to this seeing that projection is happening inside out. I think that the family member is outside. I think that Ekta and this computer and all this knowledge session is outside. I think that all the belongings that are termed as mine in this room are outside. I keep thinking this is all outside. Can you see very clearly, moment to moment, that projection is inside out? Yeah, and this sadhana begins in Swapna Nidra Jnana sadhana. If you have been practicing that, recognizing from the deep sleep state, the eye sense comes first. From the eye sense, sight, sound, smell, taste, touch projects in the dream. And then that same sight, sound, smell, taste, touch is extended to the waking. And you wake up recognizing, oh, this projected out of me. Even this body lying on the bed projected out of me the consciousness. So, projection is inside out. Am I able to see this? If I'm constantly oblivious to this, means I'm not seeing it moment to moment to moment. I will again get lost in the Kriya Chakra. Yeah, so here everything has been spelled out in detail how you get lost in the wheel of action in the Kriya Chakra. So if you've not been seeing this, the veracity of the projection being inside out, veracity simply means the truth. That projection is inside out. It's not outside in. There is no world out there. Everything is projected out of me. If this seeing is not there, then you have to go back to your Swapna Nidra Jnana sadhana. Again, have that soft sankalpa before the body lies down in bed. Have that soft sankalpa. Can I stay as the witness and just recognize that everything is projected from inside out? Yeah. May I have this recognition tonight? And then you allow the body to lie down, and automatically, while getting out of the deep sleep, you will recognize the I sense come up first. That I sense projects the dream. Oh, where did the dream come out from? The deep sleep. So projection is inside out. Then from where did the waking come? Oh, it came from the dream. The same dream extended its sight, sound, smell, taste, touch into the waking. Oh, projection is inside out. It's not outside in. If it were outside in, I would not see it in my dream first. I can see without eyes in the dream. I can hear sounds without ears. I can smell without a nose. I can taste without a tongue. I can touch without the skin. What does it mean? It means these objects of sight, sound, smell, taste, touch were first projected in the dream as subtle thoughts. And then that subtle thought has been projected in the waking as a gross manifestation. And so start seeing projection is inside out. This is the third ignorance that we have. I have broken these down. Please don't go looking for any sources. The only source is Rama Drishti. This is the way Ekta says. So this is the way she has put it down in Rama Drishti. Yeah? Ignorance can actually be broken down into sub-ignorances. So this is the third. I cannot see the projection inside out. I start assuming the spouse is outside there. He or she is out to attack me. The parent is outside there. He or she is there to attack me. This boss, this colleague, he or she exists outside of me, independent of me, and they are out to attack me. This is ignorance. This creates the issue. Yeah. So, again and again this week, homework number 3, can I recognize projection is inside out? If some drama is happening in the family, I projected it. It came of my craving or my aversion. It is born of me, the consciousness. Yes. Is that seeing there all week? This is your homework number 3. Number 4, if I have projected it from inside out, what about perception? Oh, perception is also from inside out. It is not outside in. What is the meaning of this? I perceive a sensation of unpleasantness first, and then there is the perception of the sight of the object that is related to unpleasantness. I assume that it is the other way around. This sight of this particular object, this person, this situation, oh, this exists first because he or she said this unpleasant sensation came second. This is the way we think. Perception of that unpleasant or negative object is first, and then there is the perception of the unpleasant sensation. And that is why I attach, oh, this is cause, outside is cause, and this inside is effect. What am I saying? That perception is outside in. But this is wrong. Perception is inside out, because projection was also inside out. From that subtle thought which I kept repeating to myself, oh, this should not happen today, this should not happen, this should not happen, this should not happen, this should not happen. There, it manifests in front of you. From the subtle thought, there's the gross manifestation. So perception of sensation was first or last? It was first. First was that sensation, this should not happen. That's a fear. That's an unpleasant, no, this should not happen, this should not happen, this should not happen. You already manifested it at the subtle level. And you already perceived it at the subtle level even before the gross manifestation projected in the waking. Do you see this? Or are you negligent of perception being inside out? This is the 4th level of ignorance. If you are negligent, then you are caught up in this Kriya Chakra, in this wheel of action. You're not going to be able to come out of it unless you let the sunlight in. And the sunlight here is seeing these truths. There's only one arising at a time. Its background is the now, and that is the truth. Projection is inside out from this background of the now. A wave always arises from the ocean. Yes, obviously, if projection is inside out, its perception also has to follow the same route, has to be inside out. Then the wave recedes back into the same ocean. The projection dissolves, its perception also dissolves. But my mistake is I hold on to the story that I create out of this projection perception. Nice train of all arisings, I create the memory and then I hold on to it. It's a lot of work you are doing. Do you see this? Unnecessary work of holding on to memory. That is the chit chat in your mind. You say, there's so much going on. It's not the natural arisings that are coming out of the impressions that are so much. It is your identification, holding on to it, not seeing the truth that it is an arising. It is your creation of the story which is held on as memory. That is the chit chat, that is the bombardment. You are doing this to yourself because you relish in the stories. And mind you, you don't relish only in positive stories, you relish in negative stories also. Be honest with yourself. Oh, yes. And why do you relish in these stories? Because the I thought that has come up, the I sense that has come up out of the darkness of deep sleep, knows that it is nothing. It knows that it is the darkness of deep sleep. It knows that it does not have an individual existence. That knowledge is there. Ekta is not telling you something you don't know. But that I wants to emphasize its existence. It wants to believe in its lies, no? To believe in its lies, it's holding on to every arising and weaving a memory story. It's this memory story that you keep repeating to yourself. You relish in it. You keep talking to it. You talk to the story. And you build the story more and more and more and more and more. That is the problem. Yes. Why are you building it? Because you don't want to accept the truth of being nobody. That is the last cause there. Niscient to the actuality of being infinite nobodiness. Niscient only means ignoring. Ignoring the truth that I am nobody, that there is no thingness, and that is the only truth. When I ignore this, then obviously there is going to be suffering. The suffering is holding on to this memory story and talking to it, interacting with it. This chit chat, this continuous chit chat. That is the suffering. Yeah? So there are not really 5 causes. You can just say ignorance can be broken down in direct seeing in these 5 subtle sub-levels, or subtle steps. And because I ignore one arising at a time, the background of the now, projection being inside out, perception being inside out, and the underlying truth that I hate to be nobody. Because of ignoring all these 5 truths, there is the constant arising of personhood. Smita happens, suddenly the person arises. Again and again the person arises. Then you feel, I'm the doer, I'm the experiencer. Impressions are embedded. And again, that whole wheel of action rotates. Ajnana is very clear how rebirth phenomena happens. Yeah? This ignorance births personhood. Personhood begets doership. Doership births action. Action begets experiencership. I'm experiencing it. I'm experiencing it. This is happening to me. Finish. This is itself a reaction. This experiencership births impressions. And these impressions beget ignorance. Means again the person is born from these impressions. Born as in not next lifetime. It is happening moment to moment to moment to moment to moment. Here and now. And the moment there is this doership, oh, I am writing notes, I am understanding, see, I am getting it. There, the person has come up. All this while there was no person and no chair, no heaviness, no consolidation, nothing. Suddenly, see, I got it. The moment there is attachment to that thought, what happened? This person came back. Oh, the chair is felt, the heaviness is there, the feeling of, wow, see, I am so intelligent. That strong feeling is there inside. Can you recognize that? Yeah. See, I have made fantastic notes. I am getting it. All this again you're holding on to. Yeah. Impressions just gave birth to all this ignorance. Yeah. So recognize action cannot terminate or exterminate ignorance. Again, saying, okay, I am not the person. I am not going to behave like the person. This is also action. What does it belong to? Again, you're telling the body mind person, don't be the body mind person. Can the body mind person not be the body mind person? You see? It's the progeny of ignorance. You're telling ignorance, don't be ignorant. No, it's not the body mind person that needs to be terminated. It cannot be. This is simply an arising. It cannot decimate what it is born of. That is why karma yoga will not help. Karma yoga, the yoga of action, cannot remove a jnana. Yeah? Because action is born of ignorance. It cannot decimate that what it is born of. Do you recognize the folly that we were doing on the Dvaitam path? This action will take me to enlightenment. That mantra will take me to enlightenment. This yoga asana, that pranayam, this kundalini. You were focusing on the body. You're telling the person, don't be a person. It's not going to work. It's never going to work. The person is born of the waking. You're telling the person, don't belong to the waking, get enlightened. No, the person cannot be Turiya. The person is the waker. The waker is bound by the waking state. The waking state is bound by the dream from which it extended out. The dream is bound by the darkness of deep sleep. There is the root cause of ignorance. That non-recognition that I am beyond that. That is the root cause of my ignorance. Yeah. So what is jnana really? What is the meaning of nothing other than knowledge can replace the lack of knowledge? Only that direct seeing of the sense of I that arises from that deep sleep darkness. Only that is the first ray of that morning sunlight coming in. Yeah? Only knowledge can replace lack of knowledge. Nothing else can. Only the direct seeing of the truth can destroy ignorant blindness. So this is the direct seeing. So your next homework for Swapna Nidra Nyan Sadhana, if until now I have not recognized this even once, then this is something I need to do every night this week. Every night before the body lies down, a soft sankalpa. May I recognize that sense of I that arises first from the darkness of deep sleep. That is that first ray of the sunlight which can dispel darkness. May I recognize that sense of I. It stands alone for a moment, just a moment. Why? Because it needs validation and reassurance that I am. See, I exist. I am someone. It immediately projects a dream. There'll be something, sight, sound, smell, taste, touch, or a verbal dream, only thought, or only a feeling. Yeah? It projects something so that it gets consumed, it gets busy. It wants to distract itself from the truth that it is born of nothing and it is only a wave that is going to die back into nothing. This is the highest seeing of Swapna Nidra Jnana Sadhana. Only this direct seeing of the truth can destroy the ignorant blindness. Is this clear? So if we have not seen this, then this should be our homework for the week. And don't be too hard on yourself. Swapna Nidra Jnana Sadhana cannot be done with a stick on the head. Okay, you have to see this truth. No. That's pressure. You won't sleep the whole night. You'll be the waker on the bed, turning right, left. No, you're still stuck at the waking state. Yeah. What made that happen? The pressure that you applied. There is no pressure. Relax. I am that. That is my truth. That truth cannot hide for long. And I will see it. So allow the body to be an object of the witness before the body lies down. Yeah. The witness is the subject and it is noticing that body there sitting on the bed, getting ready to sleep. Yeah, it's putting the pillow properly, it's pulling the blanket. Recognize, I am the witness of this body that is getting ready to lie down. And observe how the blanket comes on and then the hand goes to the lamp, night lamp, and switches it off, and then the body is lying down. Stay as the witness of it and recognize, see, I am the witness. Like I am the witness of the waker, I can be the witness of the dream character, and I can be the witness of the darkness of deep sleep. You don't have to witness darkness. Then the mind is creating a blank screen of darkness. You will only know there is nothing to know, and the witness will collapse. That is the meaning of witnessing the darkness of deep sleep. And from that nothingness itself, the same witness comes up. It knows there is nothing to know. It starts feeling insecure. Oh, I need validation that I exist. I need validation that I am. And there it projects sight, sound, smell, taste, touch, thought, feeling, sensation. Something it projects in the dream creates a dream world to distract itself from the truth of nothingness. That direct seeing is your first ray of knowledge. Only that can destroy ignorant blindness. That completes verse 9.